Fallout continues over an Atlantic article claiming that you-know-who called fallen U.S. troops losers and suckers. Joe Biden went on the attack this weekend. Take a look.
But as out of touch as Trump's language on the economy is, when it comes to veterans, he's downright un-American. I've never said that about a president ever, ever, ever. But calling those who have served, risked their lives, even gave their lives to our nation, losers and suckers. These are heroes. I'll tell you something. My beau wasn't a loser or a sucker. And I'm sorry if I'm cutting close to losing my temper, but the simple truth is, if that's how you talk about our veterans, you have no business being President of the United States of America.
And you-know-who fiercely denied that he made any of those comments. He didn't disparage the military before going on to disparage the military leaders. Take a look.
It's one of the reasons the military, I'm not saying the military is in love with me, the soldiers are. The top people in the Pentagon probably aren't, because they want to do nothing but fight wars so that all of those wonderful companies that make the bombs and make the planes and make everything else stay happy.
How does he not know he's disparaging the military? I don't get it. Sonny, do you think he's going to be able to talk his way out of this particular bugaboo?
Well, he's certainly trying to, and what he's pointing to are the anonymous sources, Whoopi. And I think any journalist knows that the bread and butter of a lot of journalism, especially investigative journalism, is anonymous sources. And Carl Bernstein came out just a few days ago and reminded all of us that 200 anonymous sources made the Watergate case against Nixon, ending in his resignation. And so I hope that people do understand that anonymous sources can be relied upon. And I was reminded also when I read what Captain Sully Sullenberg said, and I hope people will look that up. He said that Trump cannot comprehend the concept of service above self. And I think that is true. He also said, get this, he cannot understand selflessness because he is selfish. He cannot conceive of courage because he is a coward. He cannot feel duty because he is disloyal. And I think that that really summed up the sort of behavior that and character that we have seen coming from the White House.
Right. But, Sarah, you have a bit of a different take on these alleged comments. They're not alleged comments. They're the comments he said.
Well,
you have a different take on it, Sarah?
I tend to think articles that are based on anonymous sources, although Sonny had said they're essential at times, being in this business, I've also seen many an article written based on anonymous sources that has made me very cynical and skeptical if that is all you have. On the flip side of that argument, you had John Kelly's chief of staff, John Bolton, who's no friend of the president, saying this isn't exactly how it played out. So it kind of leaves you thinking that people are going to see and believe what they want to in regard to this article. So I personally don't think there's enough evidence for me to base a comment on whether it happened or not. But I do think it's important to realize that there could be an out-of-context nature to this, and I'm not defending his comments, but what I'm saying is we've heard him talk like this before, but there's a difference between a vile human that truly believes the words that came out of his mouth and someone who can't comprehend, as Sonny said, service, duty, honor, what it means. I think it actually perplexes him, which is why a lot of times he says these things. So again, I don't have enough evidence to say whether for sure this was said, but regardless, it leaves people kind of where they were to start.
Okay, Joy, what's your take on this?
Well, you know, it took 30 years for us to find out who Deep Throat was. And Watergate and Deep Throat basically, with the help of Woodstein, brought down President Nixon. So let's not go there about anonymous sources, because that's how you get the story, as Sonny pointed out. But you know what really is bothering me? The radio silence from so many people. I mean, the Republican leadership has said nothing about this. It's shameful, really. The Republican Party, who so loves the military. Let's hear from you, okay? John Lindsay, your best friend was John McCain. Where are your words? Why don't you open your mouth? Okay, that's one thing. I don't want to get too upset. What?
Lindsey Graham.
Okay. I was just saying it wasn't John.
Lindsey. What did I say?
Lindsey Graham, not John Lindsay.
I'm sorry. Lindsey
John
Graham,
Lindsay.
not John Lindsay. Lindsey Graham and John
Right.
McCain were very good friends. John McCain's name is being thrown around by Donald Trump right now, and Lindsey Graham is completely silent. And as far as the sources are concerned, we have not heard any denials from any of the people who were in any of these places. If they didn't hear that, if it didn't happen, why don't they open their mouths? Are they scared of the reprisals from the White House? Is that what this is about? I don't know. I believe in anonymous sources because I believe in Woodstein and I believe in Watergate. I was there. I remember the whole thing.
Right.
So, Sarah, you should have more faith in anonymous sources, dear.
I don't eliminate anonymous sources. I say everyone should pause in regard to anonymous sources.
Well, there's also the fact that Jeffrey
you know-
Goldberg is an award-winning journalist, and we trust some of them, don't we? So,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Well,
It's the bread and butter of
I'm
investigative
to-
journalism.
yes.